The Northman, 2022. Young Prince Amleth witnesses his father King Orvindil return victorious from war, bearing scars and wisdom earned through blood. The king initiates his son into a sacred rite, binding them through wolf howls and ancestral spirits. That same night, treachery strikes when Fjalnar, the king's jealous brother, murders Orvindil and claims the queen. Amleth escapes into the frozen wilderness, vowing revenge and justice. Years pass, transforming him into a hardened berserker warrior who raids villages and knows only battle. Yet deep within his brutal heart, the memory of his father's betrayal burns, guiding every step he takes toward vengeance. Amleth grows into a feared Viking, fighting alongside raiders who ravage foreign lands without mercy. Despite his violent life, his destiny remains tied to Fjalnar, who now rules a distant farmstead in Iceland. Amleth receives a vision from a mystical seeress reminding him of his oath: avenge his father, save his mother, and kill Fjalnar. Determined to fulfill prophecy, he joins a group of enslaved captives bound for Fjalnar's lands. Among them he meets Olga, a clever Slavic woman who practices secret magic. Together they plot his escape and prepare for the dangerous journey toward revenge. Disguised as a slave, Amleth arrives at Fjalnar's remote farm, hiding his true identity behind silence and obedience. He witnesses the cruelty Fjalnar inflicts on workers and family alike, confirming his uncle's corruption. Amleth secretly sabotages the farm, killing guards and terrifying his enemies by leaving behind supernatural signs. The people begin believing an angry spirit hunts them. Olga aids him by crafting illusions, making their enemies paranoid and fearful. With each act of vengeance, Amleth moves closer to confronting Fjalnar, but he must also uncover the truth about his mother, whose fate remains uncertain. Amleth finally reunites with his mother, Queen Gudrun, expecting her to be a helpless victim of Fjalnar's betrayal. Instead, he learns a shocking truth. Gudrun hated Orvindil and willingly joined Fjalnar to escape her abusive marriage. She reveals Amleth was never meant to survive and now stands in the way of her happiness. This revelation shakes Amleth deeply, forcing him to question everything he believed. Still, the prophecy cannot be denied. Betrayal once again defines his life, and he realizes his destiny is not guided by love but by fate, pain, and the blood of his ancestors. After Gudrun betrays him, Amleth barely escapes death, wounded but alive. Olga saves him, tending his injuries and urging him to abandon revenge. She tells him she is pregnant, offering him a future beyond violence. For a moment, Amleth considers leaving, tempted by peace and family. However, his destiny calls him back to the path of vengeance. He believes Fjalnar must die for the cycle of suffering to end. Choosing fate over freedom, Amleth returns to the farm to face his uncle one final time, even knowing it may cost him everything he holds dear. Amleth launches a final assault on Fjalnar's farm, killing his enemies in a savage, unstoppable rampage. Flames engulf buildings as chaos erupts across the land. He confronts Gudrun, who attacks him in desperation, but he is forced to kill her, ending her tragic role in his fate. Fjalnar flees, but Amleth pursues him across the volcanic landscape. Destiny leads them to the gates of Hell, a fiery realm where myth and reality collide. Their battle is not only between two men, but between past and future, blood and destiny, as the saga of revenge reaches its climax. Amleth and Fjalnar engage in a brutal duel beside flowing lava, stripped of armor and pride. Each blow they trade carries years of hatred and betrayal. Though wounded, Amleth fights with the strength of his ancestors behind him. Fjalnar realizes too late that fate cannot be escaped. With one final strike, Amleth kills his uncle, fulfilling the prophecy he swore to uphold as a boy. Yet victory comes at a terrible cost. Fatally injured, Amleth accepts his death with peace, knowing his sacrifice will protect Olga and their unborn children from Fjalnar's legacy of cruelty and violence. As Amleth lies dying, visions of Valhalla appear before him, welcoming him as a warrior who honored his destiny. He imagines Olga and their future children living free from the shadow of Jalmar. Though his life was shaped by pain and revenge, his final act ensures hope for the next generation. The volcanic fire reflects both destruction and rebirth, symbolizing the end of a violent cycle. Amleth's spirit rises beyond the mortal world, carried by ancestral voices. His story becomes a legend passed down through time, reminding all who hear it that fate, though cruel, can be fulfilled with honor. Olga escapes the burning land by boat, carrying Amleth's children within her. Though grieving, she holds on to the hope he gave her through sacrifice. The waves carry her away from death and toward a new beginning. Behind her, the world of kings, violence, and betrayal fades into legend. Amleth's bloodline will continue, not as conquerors, but as survivors who remember the cost of revenge. The tale of the Northman becomes a saga whispered through generations, a story of love, destiny, and sacrifice that warns against endless cycles of hatred while honoring the courage it takes to face one's fate. The Northman ends as a tragic but powerful tale of a warrior bound by prophecy and driven by justice. Amleth's journey from innocent boy to legendary avenger shows how destiny shapes even the strongest hearts. Though he never finds peace in life, he achieves meaning through sacrifice. His story is not one of victory, but of purpose. In choosing to fulfill his fate, he gives others the chance to live freely. The echoes of his struggle live on through Olga and their children, proving that even in a world ruled by violence, hope can rise from ashes and legends are born from blood.